Well, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mike Long, and I am president of Parents for Educational Freedom in North Carolina. I am dedicated to our mission, which is to promote equal access to educational opportunities throughout our state, to extend the power of school choice to as many families as possible, regardless of income, zip code, or race. Why? Because parents should be able to send their children to the school of their choice, traditional or non-traditional. You see, I'm a 35-year educator, born and raised in Durham, a product of the Durham public school system, a graduate of the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. I probably shouldn't have said that to everyone in here, but nevertheless, I taught 7th and 8th grade social studies in the Durham public school system. Developed a character education program that was used in school systems all over the country throughout the 80s and 90s and into the 2000s. So it gave me the opportunity to train over 50,000 educators all across the country, public school educators, by the way, on how to effectively use it. I've been a high school principal, and I've been the head of a private school as well. So I've experienced and participated in both private and public education, both as a teacher and as an administrator. Now at PF&C, I am grateful that I can now come alongside families across our state to inform them of their educational options in North Carolina. This organization advocates for public policies that will further educational freedom for parents in our great state. This work has given parents choices, and while the majority of North Carolina's students are enrolled in traditional public schools, it's incredible to believe that 1 in 5 students in North Carolina today have chosen a school outside of the traditional public school system, be it a public charter school, a private school, or homeschool. Now we're coming together today at a pivotal time. The year 2020, where the worldwide coronavirus pandemic has shown in stark reality just how crucial school choice is to the welfare of families. And we are so grateful today to have joining us the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. Welcome back to North Carolina. Glad we could bring you Carolina blue skies today.
I'm glad as well. Thank you.
We're also glad to have the President Pro Tem of the North Carolina Senate, Phil Berger. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. Also representing House Speaker Tim Moore is Joseph Kaiser. He's the Communications Director for the Speaker. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We have State Senators Deanna Ballard from Boone and also Senator Joyce Kravick from Davie and Forsyth counties. Thank you, Senators, for being with us. Also over here on this side, we have some parents here that are going to be sharing their stories, and they will be introducing themselves momentarily. So again, thank you all for being with us today. Our elected officials recently championed a COVID-19 relief bill that passed with bipartisan support that expanded school choice in key ways throughout our state. Now, in normal times, these policy changes would be considered victories. But in times like these, when students are struggling with distance learning or not given an in-person option in their traditional public school, they are momentous. The COVID-19 relief bill expanded and strengthened our state's Opportunity Scholarship, which provides $4,200 a year in tuition support for low-income, working-class, tax-paying families. It also provided support for North Carolina's 2 programs aimed at helping families of students with special needs, the Children with Disabilities Grant and the Education Savings Account. Now, these programs are essential now more than ever because of the pandemic crisis. And I am grateful that the leaders at this table today understood that and they acted. Now, I'm going to make this absolutely clear. North Carolinians want school choice. And you know what? They deserve it. In fact, recent polling highlights the incredible popularity of school choice in our state. A recent Civitas Institute poll showed that 69% of likely voters support the Opportunity Scholarship. Our own recent polling showed that 94% of parents feel more inclined to support policies expanding school choice during the coronavirus crisis. And of parents who have chosen an alternative to the traditional public school system, 96% are satisfied or very satisfied with their school of choice. Now, in times of crisis, they can highlight cracks in the system. I would be remiss not to recognize the reality of how education and racial equality intertwine. Education, and more importantly, equal access to quality education, is one of the civil rights issues of our time. A civil rights activist from right here in North Carolina agrees, and I'd like to call your attention to the television monitor over here to hear his words.
I never went to an integrated school. Didn't have an opportunity to do so. My name is Clarence Henderson, civil rights advocate. 60 years ago, I sat at that historic Woolworth County in Greensboro. Our fight then was for equal access. We just wanted to be let in. It's hard to believe that it's been 60 years, yet the fight for equality still rages on in our country. Equality today must include equal access in education, but for many in our state, they are trapped in a school that doesn't meet the needs of their children. That's why I'm 100% in favor of school choice. 60 years ago, we just wanted to be let in. Today, these moms and thousands more like them are fighting to be let out of the schools that are not meeting their needs. Join us in the fight for equal access, the fight for school choice.
Clarence is right. The quality of a child's education should never depend on their parents' income, their zip code, or the color of their skin. They deserve equal access to whatever school will help them succeed. And that requires reforming the education system, prioritizing the needs of individual students above the needs of the system, and putting parents in charge of determining the best educational environment for their child. Now, when that becomes our goal, perhaps the tide will turn in bringing true equality into our educational system, and lives will be changed. It's already happening in over 12,000 families throughout the state of North Carolina, just like the family of Shalonda Brown. Take a look at what Shalonda has to say.
My name is Shalonda Brown. I'm from Goldsboro. I have two sons on the Opportunity Scholarship. My youngest son, Julian, who is a second, third grader at Wayne Montessori, and my middle son, Amori, who is going to be a rising senior at Wayne Christian. It has meant opportunity for him, because if he stayed in the public school that he was assigned to, he wouldn't be ready. He wouldn't be ready to do dual enrollment at Wayne Community during his senior year. He wouldn't even have the opportunity to take calculus or trig. He's been able to broaden his horizons. He's been able to explore things that weren't offered. He's had that opportunity in those smaller settings to kind of grow at his pace, you know? So it's been life-changing.
I think every parent across our state in some way can relate to Shalonda. We believe that all families should have the same opportunity because not every child will succeed in every educational setting. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen students in special needs get left behind as they struggle behind a computer. Or single parents have been put into the impossible situation of juggling work or distance learning or having to access to childcare. The people who need the most help and the most support have been the ones hurt the most by the crisis. So this is why we do what we do at Parents for Educational Freedom in North Carolina. PEF&C has focused most of our efforts on parents like Shalonda, the ones at this table, and the countless number of parents throughout our state who want a choice for their child's education. I am so grateful for the leadership at this table who have risen up to meet these needs. And we're grateful to have these parents today here in order to, who have all actually exercised school choice, share their stories, primarily as they face the realities of the COVID-19 pandemic head-on with their children. They have made very difficult decisions, and we look forward to hearing from you shortly. At this time, also by video, since he could not personally be with us today, our Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest also wanted to offer some words and welcome to the Secretary and the others here today. If you'll take a look at the monitor.
Hey everybody, Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest here. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be with you in person today, but I wanted to thank all of you for the incredible job you did on extending hope and opportunity to families all across our state. I want to thank Mike Long and everyone with Parents for Educational Freedom in North Carolina for putting this event together today. And this event wouldn't be possible if it was not for the incredible leadership of Senator Berger, Speaker Moore, Senators Ballard and Krovic, and the other legislators in the room that put students first. At the exact time Governor Cooper presented a proposal that threatened to completely eliminate the Opportunity Scholarship Program, you all stood up for what is right by not only expanding the amount of scholarships available, but also expanding the pool of families that could access this life-changing program. When our governor is prohibiting millions of children from having any in-person instruction this school year, your courageous efforts provide the leadership that gives families access to full-time quality instruction. I also want to thank Secretary DeVos for all the sacrifices that she continues to make, as well as all the hard work that she continues to put in to make real changes to our antiquated education system. She, like myself and all the elected officials in the room, believe that we need to put students first, not the system. The work that we're doing in North Carolina to expand opportunity and choice to students will have a significant impact on their education outcomes. I look forward to continuing to work with Secretary DeVos and President Trump as we look at ways to provide even more school choice options throughout our state so that every child has an opportunity for an excellent education.